Tarik Skubal leaves tonight's game with an injury. Are the Detroit Tigers in trouble? MLB Game Night is every game, every night. Let's get started.
When that final out is made, you know it's time for a Locked On MLB Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before. Only on Locked On MLB Game Night. Your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into MLB Game Night, where we cover every single game, every single night, as only the Locked On Podcast Network can do it. I'm your host, Lindsey Crosby, host of the Locked On Braves postcast over on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Follow me on social media at Crosby Baseball. That is Steve Lennox, host of the Locked On Red Sox postcast. Follow him on the X at Lennox on Baseball. Ton of stuff to get to today, Steve. The Giants get a walk-off grand slam in extra innings over the Dodgers. The Reds get shut out. The Cubs come back from a deficit to win. So do the Nationals. And the Brewers get off the skid. But before we get to that, today's episode is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So download the app today. I want to talk about, we talked about this last night. This is probably the best pitching matchup of the day. Tigers at Marlins. Tarik Skubal versus Sandy Alcantara. Marlins win this one 8-2. 3 wins in a row for them. But the big story here, Tarik Skubal leaves the game in the fourth with left side tightness. He's going to get some imaging on Saturday. If he is out for an extended period of time, and granted, the postseason starts in like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. How bad is this for the Detroit Tigers if they don't have Skubal for the first round?
I say 9.5, almost 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
If this is an oblique, he may be done for the season, even if it's mild. I think of Red Sox rookie outfielder Roman Anthony. They don't expect him back, and I think he's got probably 10 days on what Skubal is now since when he went out with the injury. And they don't expect him back unless they make the American League Championship Series. So we've talked about their pitching behind Skubal. You know, Mize, Flaherty, those guys, you know, they've had numbers at certain points in the year. But if he's down and they have to shut him down, it's going to be awfully hard.
Yeah. And the tough part here is he didn't look great before he left the game. 3 to 3rd, only 4 hits, but 4 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Gave up multiple homers in this one. Augustin Ramirez got him. Heriberto Hernandez got him. Joey Wiemer later had like a big 3-run homer in the 6th to get them up, to get the Marlins to an 8-1 lead. They ended up winning 8-2. But I kind of agree with you where I think this is potentially one of the more impactful injuries as we head into the postseason, simply because he is so important to that team. It's not like Philly losing Zach Wheeler. He's clearly their best pitcher, and Zach Wheeler is. But everybody else on that rotation is so good right now. Even Walker Buehler, we'll get to them later, had a great start today for them. Whereas Detroit, it's Skubal and the boys. Like, it's Tarik Skubal and pray for rain sometimes. So
yes,
really kind of nerve-wracking. And it's just
disappointing too.
Yeah. I mean,
potential to be disappointing. Fingers crossed right now.
You want to see the best pitchers pitch in October. Shot up in this one, Riley Green, 2-out solo homer in the 4th, 34th homer of the year, 108 RBI. I think you would ask me before the season, would Riley Green get to a 3,100 year? I don't think I'd have said yes, but he's there.
I've loved him for a long time. I saw him USA Baseball events. I interviewed him when he broke in. The Tigers had one of their minor league affiliates in Connecticut. Great young man. I know his high school coach. He played high school baseball down in Oviedo, Florida with Vaughn Grissom in the Red Sox system.
Yep.
Great young guy. Just cut down on the strikeouts. That's all I ask of Riley Green.
It feels like that's what you say about most modern baseball players. Just cut down the strikeouts a little bit. Talking about some of the strikeouts and things like that here. Yankees at Red Sox. Aaron Judge homered in the first. The Yankees hold on to beat your Boston Red Sox 4-1. Before I get to your side of this, I want to hear from Jay Berman, the Locked On Yankees postcast, kind of about what Luis Gil looked like and how this game went from the Yankees perspective.
No surprise here. Yanks beat the Red Sox in September. 27 of the last 34 times Yanks and Red Sox have played in September, the Yanks have won, including tonight. 4-1, the final score. Aaron Judge hit a first-inning home run. His 19th first-inning home run this season. His 47th overall and number 362 all alone in fourth place on the Yankees' all-time home run list. As for the pitching, Luis Gil did not allow a hit in 6 innings of work. Again, 4 walks were the problem, but again, no hits and no runs allowed. He earns the win. David Bednar gets the final 3 outs to get the save. The Yanks remain 3 back of Toronto and obviously pick up a game on the Red Sox in the wild card standings. Again, final score 4-1 as the Yanks continue to own the Red Sox in September.
You mentioned not having Roman Anthony. 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. How concerning is it to think about this is your offense right now? You don't have Roman Anthony, and it's been like all week. You guys have struggled to get the hits with runners in scoring position. Against the A's on Wednesday, it's like 2 for 16. How nerve-wracking is this heading into the postseason?
It's not good right now. I'm curious to see what they do against Alex Cora's got 2 lefty killers and Rob Refsnyder and Romy Gonzalez. But against right-handers right now, you're putting Nate Eaton in there, who broke up the no-hit bid in the 7th inning with a solo
shot. Yeah.
And then they get 1 more base hit, a hit by Bregman late, but that was it. 1 run, 2 hits. I gave the totals, Lindsay. 1 run, 2 hits, 3 errors. It was an ugly night all around. But that home run in the first inning by Aaron Judge, Jay Berman mentioned it, 19th home run in the first inning this year. Will Fleming had the game on Red Sox radio, and he said this first inning's big for Lucas Giolito, who only gave up 2 runs, 1 earned in his outing. But he gives up that home run to Judge in the first inning. The way this offense has gone against righties of late, you don't have those lefty bats in there. You don't use the righty bats, or rather, you don't have the righty bats in there against the lefties, and the bottom of the lineup can certainly be pitched to. Bregman's not really hitting. Cedar Rafaela, you can go down the line, but we're going to try to get out of this segment and out of this game as quickly as possible here.
Yeah, these 2 teams are second and third in the AL East, but they're leading the wild card right now. Talk about lefties. You get Max Fried on the mound for the Yankees tomorrow against Brayan Bello. All right, Rangers at Mets. The return of Jacob deGrom to New York. He makes a start. Nice video package before the game. This is a 8-3 win by the Rangers. Really excited that Jacob deGrom finally got run support in New York, thanks to 6 runs in the first by the Rangers. Here's Ryan Finkelstein of Locked On Mets, all about what went wrong for Jonah Tong in this one.
Friday night was supposed to be a big pitching matchup between young Mets phenom Jonah Tong going up against former great Met Jacob deGrom, and it was a pretty one-sided affair as Jonah Tong got knocked out of the game before even getting out of the first inning. This is Ryan Finkelstein, the host of Locked On Mets, and things have only gotten worse for this Mets team, who have now lost 7 in a row as Jonah Tong gives up 6 runs before recording 3 outs. He gets pulled from the game with 2 outs in the first, and just put the Mets into too big of a hole to ever climb out of. Jacob deGrom was pretty solid for the Rangers, went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs. Francisco Alvarez got him for a home run. The Mets had another rally where they scored a couple runs on a few sac flies, but they could never erase the damage that was done with Tong in the first inning, and they end up losing yet again. Now they're going to have to try to salvage this series with a couple more young pitchers in the next few days here. Brandon Sproat will make his 2nd career start on Saturday, and then Nolan McLean, who has been the Mets' best rookie, will be going on Sunday. Still a chance to win this series and try to stop the bleeding, but things continue to go the wrong direction for the Mets, who very well could be leading this wild card race by merely half a game when they head to the ballpark tomorrow, depending on what happens on the West Coast. We'll be talking about all of it on tomorrow's edition of Locked On Mets.
He is right. It is half a game. Rather than get into the specifics of this game, I think I want to point out the Mets are 21-30 since the All-Star break. And the last time they went before it. They went 12-15 in the month of June. Half game lead. Are they able to hold off the Giants? Because you asked me like a month ago and I said yes.
It doesn't seem possible now. The Reds a couple of times got to within a half game. The Giants, we're going to talk about them in a short while, but they're a half game back, and they seem to have a little bit of everything going in their right direction right now. They've got the momentum. The Mets are just stuck in the mud.
Yeah, they can't seem to do both offense and defense at the same time. Patrick Corbin versus Brandon Sproat on Saturday. As Ryan said, they definitely need a win here.
Relying on those rookies. Good luck.
The rookies. Royals at Phillies. 8-2 win by Philadelphia over Kansas City. Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott are the victors here. So good day to have a name that starts with BRY. But Connor Thomas is actually more excited about a different Phillies player. May have coined a new nickname here.
Maine, the hottest team on the face of the planet. I'm Connor Thomas, your host of Locked On Phillies, and the Phils routed the Royals tonight. The offense stepped up huge. Walker Buehler makes his debut, and he only goes 5, but he looks strong through those 5, or at least solid. And I'm not sure what he's going to be in the postseason, starter, reliever, but I do know his postseason resume is sterling, and that's another weapon for the Philadelphia Phillies to potentially use. And how about the depth pieces stepping up for the Phils? Otto Kemp, the Ottoman Empire, seems set on world domination. He was unbelievable again tonight. He was big in the Mets series. Bryce Harper goes yard. Everybody is contributing for the Philadelphia Phillies right now. And unfortunately, Edmundo Sosa had to be lifted from this game, a little hobbled late in this one, so we'll see. But the way this team is playing right now, how can you not believe they'll have another guy step up? We'll see if they keep rolling and keep cutting down that magic number. We'll talk on the next episode of Locked On Phillies.
That magic number is 3, by the way, for them to 3. The magic number is 3 to clinch the NL East. Ottoman Empire. I am 100% down with Ottoman Empire being a thing.
T-shirts.
Make the T-shirts. Final game here, the first segment. Dodgers at Giants. Patrick Bailey hits a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 10th for a 5-1 win. And Steve Lennox, you're never going to guess which reliever for the Dodgers gives up the walk-off.
Wasn't Blake Trinan. It was our guy, Tanner Scott. Oof.
He's having the nightmare season. ERA is now over 5. And the good news is, it's only like 3 years and $70 million left on that contract. So no worries there. Question here, and this is shout out to Jesus in the chat with this. Do the Giants have a chance with their current bullpen? Because I think one of the issues when you look at this bullpen for the Giants is we've seen them move a couple guys. They were willing to give up some pieces. And like right now, Ryan Walker's nominally the closer. He got the save on Tuesday, but it's a lot of extra pieces, right? Jose Butto. Whenever you trade for a reliever from a contender during the season, it's usually not a good sign. Jose Butto came from the Mets. They signed Joey Lucchesi as a free agent from the Mets. JT Brubaker was jettisoned by the Yankees last month. Do they have the pieces if they can actually get to the postseason to do anything here?
The Giants are a good team, Lindsay, of taking off the scrap heap. You mentioned Lucchesi, to a certain degree. Budo was part of the deal. But guys just go there and they have success. And it's the culture. It's what Buster Posey, it's what Bob Melvin are doing. I mean, people wanted Bob Melvin fired. It certainly helps that Rafael Devers is, he's basically getting to the numbers on the back of his baseball card, and those are really good numbers. So just quietly, everyone's dismissed them, and here they are knocking on the door.
There you go. All right, in just a second, when we come back, I want to talk about White Sox Guardians. San Francisco, the Cleveland's on a little bit of a run. We'll break that down next, right here on MLB Game Night. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, yeah, come on. Okay, sure. Like that actually works. There are so many products out there, it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. And that's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This is a supplement that's clinically tested to target the root causes of thinning and shedding with a proactive approach. Like whether you're at work, you're out with friends, or even just getting ready in the morning, Nutrafol gives you more confidence in your daily routine, and it's simple to add to your day. 4 pills with a meal, no prescription needed. You can feel good about it knowing Nutrafol is NSF certified and backed by peer-reviewed studies as well. So, see thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com, Nutrafol.com, and enter the promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code Locked On MLB. All right, Steve. White Sox at Guardians. Guardians win this one 4-0. Their 13th shutout win over the season. We've got our friend Justin Latta from Locked On Guardians here, coming to you, I believe, from his car, all about this one and how it went.
Factory is so back, Jack. What's up? This is Justin Latta from Locked On Guardians. The Guardians, a 4-0 winner over the Chicago White Sox to start off a series I said they had to sweep, and it started again with Tanner Bybee. The best start of the season, the best start of his career. It was the first complete game shutout of Tanner Bybee's career. That is the second time this week the Guardians have had a near Maddox. They almost had a no-hitter earlier in the week. The pitching factory is back on. Tanner Bybee was unbelievable all night long. Great pitch mix, great control. Only gave up 2 dinker hits. He was literally 2 hits away from a no-hitter, and those were little bloops in the outfield. The offense, you got David Fry coming through with the home run off the left. They finally needed that. Austin Hedges even had an RBI. He tried to steal base. That didn't go well. Shocker. Angel Martinez, a big hit. And the defense was great. Brian Roque up the middle with Gabriel Arias is a great defense. The Guardians, unfortunately, are not getting a lot of help as they try to stay alive in the wild card race. They are taking care of their own business. We'll see how that goes. What they have to do first and foremost, they need some help. But this is a good start by Tanner Bybee. The bullpen's rested, and they're going into the weekend with a lot of momentum in a series they absolutely have to sweep. We'll cover it all on Locked On Guardians. Be there with us.
I'm happy for Tanner Bybee. He needed the start. If I can find the right click here. But David Fry getting a home run. He was an all-star in 2024. Missed a bunch of time after having elbow surgery. If he can be back down the stretch, is the addition of the bat of David Fry, again, a guy who didn't have a ton of homers last year, but he hit 263. Is that enough to maybe help them leapfrog somebody in the American League, or is it just too little too late?
They've got 2 more series left with the Tigers, and we touched on them in the open with Tarik Skubal being down, and who knows if it's one start or if it's the rest of the regular season. Then they've got the Rangers to wrap up as well. So it's going to be hard for the Guardians. But again, similar to the Giants that we wrapped up with segment number 1, I just can't dismiss them right now.
Yeah, it's with the pitching factory working, when it's actually working, which it hasn't been for a while, it's hard to count them out. I agree there. I've always just had questions about, do they have enough offense, right? Lane Thomas wasn't working out.
Yeah,
if they have
but
enough
as you
offense,
said, Fry, if he gives you something here in the final couple of weeks, takes the pressure off the rest of the lineup, takes the pressure off the pitchers where they don't have to be like Tanner Bybee and just go out there and absolutely deal on a Friday night. They can give up a couple of runs and still be in it.
Yep, and he can play 5 different positions, which is kind of a big deal. Always helps there. All right, Astros in Atlanta to take on my Atlanta Braves. Astros win this one 11-3. They built a 10-run lead by the end of the 5th inning before Atlanta got on the board. Here is Brett, H-Town Wheelhouse with Locked On Astros to rub it in my face about the Braves getting beat.
A record night for the rookie Zach Cole and a big win for the Astros. I'm H-Town Wheelhouse here with Locked On Astros. The Astros win big in Atlanta. Now, Atlanta hasn't been exactly a juggernaut this year, but the Astros have not scored a lot of runs either. And with runners in scoring position, they've been terrible. They were 5 for their first 6 tonight. They got things started hot. Zach Cole, the very first ball he saw in the outfield, he robbed a home run from Matt Chapman. Then the very first pitch he saw at the plate, he hit for a home run. His next at bat, he hit an RBI single. He was 3 for 4. It's the first rookie in Astros history to debut with 4 RBI in one game. He was also the 17th player in Major League history to see the first pitch and hit it for a home run in a Major League debut. And I'm pretty sure the fact that he caught the first ball hit to him and robbed that for a home run and hit the first pitch for a home run, it's got to be some sort of MLB record. The Astros, with this win, at worst stay tied, at the most get a half game on the Seattle Mariners. Stay tuned into Locked On Astros. The AL West race is heating up.
He's not wrong. It's absolutely heating up. Also heating up, Hurston Waldrop's ERA. He was at 133 entering this game, 6 runs in 40 2/3 innings. He gives up 8 runs on 8 hits in 4 2/3. Just more of nothing working right for Atlanta. I'm still a believer they're going to fix it next year. Ronald Acuna Jr. homered, kind of getting off his little skid. Pinch hit Eli White homer in the 8th. Fun fact, that was Atlanta's first pinch hit home run of the season, and it's September 12th.
Yeah.
Just amazing stat. Hunter Brown versus Bryce Elder on Sunday. So a lot of it doesn't get easier for the Braves on Saturday. Cardinals Brewers here. Brewers win this one 8-2, avoid a 4th straight loss. They're the first team to 90 wins, and this was Quinn Priester. We've talked about this before, Steve. He's won 12 straight decisions now, 5 1/3 innings, 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He's 13-2 on the season, and the Brewers are 18-0 in the last 18 games that he's pitched. This is absurd, right? Like this is not sustainable. This has got to come back to earth eventually, right?
It doesn't seem like it. 15 starts, 3 games where he came in after an opener for the Brewers as they backed him off just a little bit. But he's had a terrific season. Makes me think every time he goes out there and puts up a quality outing, and this was less than 6 innings, but still kept him in the game, and they won the game. But those future guys that they got for the Red Sox for Quinn Priester way back early on in 2025, we'll see if those guys pan out down the road.
It kind of hurts. You have to think it kind of hurts a little bit right now. Yeah. This is Sonny Gray, Jacob Mizorowski on Saturday. Might be the best pitching matchup of the day. We'll get to some more later, but might be the best one there. All right. Orioles at Blue Jays. I'll take this one so you can get at Angels Mariners. Blue Jays win this one 6-1. Series opener here. They out-hit the Orioles 10-3. Vlad had an RBI single in the 5th, broke a 1-1 tie. Miles tied it back up. Miles Straw broke the tie with an RBI double in the 6th. Dalton Varsho came in to pinch hit, had a 2-run double in the 8th. Really feels like you have a little bit of advantage here when you can pinch hit Dalton Varsho.
Yeah.
But Vlad goes, he gets on base 5 times. Jays are now 64-4 this year when they score 5 or more runs. And they should be able to keep the win streak going because Max Scherzer is on the mound versus Tomoyuki Sugano on Saturday.
We touched on the Astros winning over the Braves, Lindsay. Mariners stay tied atop the AL West with the Astros for first place. Mariners win their 7th in a row, 2-1 victory at home Friday night against the Angels. They've won the first 2 games of that series. Impressed that this was a low-scoring game because both bullpens taxed from the night before. Mariners walking off in extra innings 2 games in a row. But Mitch Garver, after the Angels tied the game up in the top of the 7th inning, solo home run in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that proved to be the difference. 2-1 the final. As the Mariners do pick up the victory again, they extend their win streak to 7 straight.
All right, in just a second, the Rays were trying to make a late push for the wild card. They've slacked off a little bit. The Cubs did not make things easier on them. We'll get to that next right here on MLB Game Night. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. FanDuel's great because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. So, if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right. So the Chicago Cubs trying to, hold on to a playoff spot here. They get down 3-0 to the Rays in Wrigley Field, but come back from the deficit, win the opener 6-4. Here's one of our favorites, Sam Olber of Locked On Cubs, all about how they did it today.
That's a really, really nice win for the Cubs on Friday at Wrigley Field. 6-4 over the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm Sam Olber from the Locked On Cubs podcast. I love a good comeback win. Cubs were down 3-0 early in this one. Matthew Boyd was not particularly sharp. It was a huge day for Ian Happ. 3 hits, a home run, a double, a single, a walk. He was, 2 feet away from missing another home run. He's been huge here the last few weeks with Bush struggling, Seiya struggling, Pete struggling, Tucker injured. Give Ian credit. He's really turned his season around here the last, month or so. And the peripheral numbers, the underlying numbers were good all year. He's just starting to get results. And then this bullpen, 12 up, 12 down, Hodge, Pomerantz, Keller, Kittredge. It's fun to watch those guys work right now. Really nice job by the Cubs. They've won 3 in a row here. Let's see if they could get on a 5-game win streak. Let's see if they could do it and finish out this series. Good start to the weekend for the Cubbies.
Yeah, the big thing here, I talk about this all the time with you. Revenge games are real. Guess who homered in this game? Former, Christopher Morel.
No.
Christopher Morel,
No.
former Cub who gets traded away. Homers, 3-run homer in this one. Cubs scored 3 in the bottom of the second. Ian Happ, Moises Ballesteros, everybody's kind of contributing here. And Matthew Boyd, 5 innings, 4 runs. Not a great outing, but he gets his 13th win. And I think the biggest deal here, the Cubs bullpen did not allow a base runner after Matthew Boyd left the game, which is the big deal because we've talked about that's their weakness, it feels like.
And Boyd worked a 1-2-3 fifth. Rays didn't have a base runner after the 4th inning in this game. And as you said, Morel, the home run in the first, that was it for the offense pretty much for the Rays who, were playing well. And all of a sudden now back on a slide.
I would say they lost 6 of the last 7, I think, after winning 7 in a row.
Yep.
Drew Rasmussen, Colin Rea on Saturday. All right, Reds at Athletics in Sacramento. The Athletics win this one 3-0, and Jeff Carr of Locked On Reds is not really that happy about it.
The Cincinnati Reds lineup has embarrassed itself for I don't even know how many times. It's been too many times this season. This lineup was horrible on Friday night. Absolutely horrible. They got guys on base, but congratulations. I don't even know what that's like, not even a consolation prize. 6 out of the 9 innings, the leadoff man got on base. 6 out of the 9 innings, the Reds had somebody on base with nobody out. They didn't score. The A's scored 3 times. 2 of them were solo home runs. Sorry, all 3 of them were solo home runs. 2 of them were solo home runs by a guy who came into the game with 1 home run on the season. This is what drives you crazy about this team because I don't know if somebody told them that they had a shot. I don't know if somebody told them that they were now tied in the loss column with the Mets. And if they won, they'd be a half game out. But they stepped up to the plate and they peed the pants anytime somebody was on base ready to score. 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. 13 strikeouts.
Gross.
Gross team.
I am so nervous for Jeff's mental health the rest of this season. He is not handling
It's
this well.
baseball fans. The mental health of baseball fans. This isn't just the Cincinnati Reds right now. We touched on the Red Sox. Teams do this. Don't make
Mets
adjustments
fans.
at the plate. Don't make adjustments at the plate. Can't come through in clutch situations because they don't believe him anymore. Just elevate the ball somehow, some way. And just the situational hitting, it's abysmal. All 30 clubs, maybe not consistently, but during stretches during the regular season, it's been that way for all 30 teams.
Can we give Friday's Bad Luck Award to Brady Singer? 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, and he takes the loss because he gives up 2 solo shots here. All right, we got 3 minutes. We got 3 games left. I'll take Pirates at Nationals. Nationals down 3-0 in this one. 2 runs in the 6th, 4 runs in the 7th, and then hold off to Pittsburgh for a 6-5 win. a lot of the young kids here, right? Brady House gets a homer. Dylan Cruz gets a homer. His was a 2-run shot in the 7th to give them the lead. Joey Bart on the Pirates side, though, he got an RBI single in the 9th. Just doing a really good job. Like all the young kids doing stuff here, but the Pirates have lost 7 in a row. Even when they manage to score 5 runs, they just can't seem to hold it, and they lose 6-5.
Yeah, James Wood on that base hit that you mentioned there from in the 9th inning, Joey Bart. James Wood did cut down what would have been the tying run at the plate on a great throw from left field. Spencer Horwitz did homer in that game. But the Buccos, again, they're going in the wrong direction here with just a couple of weeks left in the regular season.
They just got to do more here. All right. Rockies at Pirates. Rockies win this one 4-2 in San Diego. Series tied at a game apiece. They scored all 4 runs in the 4th. Blaine Krim has a 3-run homer with 2 outs. First MLB hit is a 3-run homer. Kyle Farmer goes back-to-back with him on a solo shot. Tanner Gordon, listen, not in course, 6 innings, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Padres just can't get offense. That's 2 runs or less 7 times in the last 12 games. They get a Manny Machado solo shot, but Tatis gets a golden sombrero over 4 strikeouts. And it's just San Diego just refuses to claim and take that postseason spot that's right there. Like they can't seem to find the offense late in the year.
Yeah, I mean, remember at one point early on in the year, and we're closing in on it, we said, can 3 teams from the NL West make it? And it kind of looks like it could certainly happen. But, the Padres don't take advantage of the Giants helping them out Friday night as they, scored just the 2 runs, as you mentioned. And they've had difficulties here of late and really throughout the season, with that consistent offense.
Yep. All right, final game of the night, Diamondbacks at Twins. Diamondbacks score 4 in the top of the 9th. Twins turn around and score 3 in the home half of the 9th to win 9-8. I really hope nobody went home early in this one. Gabriel Moreno, 3-run homer in the top of that 9th. Cody Clemens then homers, 3rd hit of the game for him. Trevor Larnach ties it at 8, bases loaded walk. There is just something electric about a dude drawing a bases loaded walk in the 9th inning. That gets people fired up. Luke Keechel hits a sac fly to score Byron Buxton here. 2 hits, 2 walks, a hit batter in the 9th for the Twins. Arizona only recorded 1 out. That was on the sac fly. So Twins' 10th walk-off win of the season. They have not had a lot of things go right, but this is one. They are tied for the most walk-off wins in the majors this year.
Sorry about that. Tried to mention that earlier to get it to you, but the Giants with their walk-off, they're now in front.
They took over first. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, they're back in there.
That happens. That happens. Late win there. This has been MLB Game Night for Friday, September 12th. Do us a favor. Listening on audio, leave a 5-star review. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to Locked On MLB. We're going to do this every single game, every single night, because that's what the Locked On Podcast Network does. For Steve Lennox, I'm Lindsey Crosby. This has been MLB Game Night.